Typically, when we're about to level up in our life, all the unexpected things that we don't want to happen starts to happen. It's just the way that it is. For whatever reason, I noticed in my life that when we're about to get to a higher level in whatever area, things become a little bit uncertain. Things become a little bit rocky. Things become a little bit confusing. And sometimes what we fail to see is that all that stuff happening is actually the universe preparing you for the next stage of your life. It's all part of the plan. It's all happening for you to level up and become the person that you are really wanting to be. And so that's why in this video, I'm going to be giving you the 3 signs from the universe that you are about to level up. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation to work with me one-on-one personally and to see if you're a good fit. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months, and enrollment is closing soon. So if you want to be a part of the program, or if you want more details on the program, the link will be in the description box of this video for more details on that as well. So the first sign, let's just get right into it, is you are going through a challenge, or you just went through some sort of a challenge. The first sign from the universe that you are about to level up is you are going through some sort of a challenge, or just went through some sort of a challenge. Something that completely took you out of balance. Something that took you out of your equilibrium. Something that took you out of your default. Something that shifted you into the unknown. So it just took you out of what you knew and it put you into the unknown. This could be anything. We're talking about financial challenges. We're talking about, your emotional stuff coming up to the surface. Maybe somebody else in your life is going through some sort of a challenge and they come to you with all their problems, and then your life just is out of balance. Right? You're not feeling good, or maybe you just went through something and you're slowly beginning to recover back into your state of peace, or whatever peace is to you, your comfort. Because comfort is fine. Sometimes you need to be in that equilibrium. That state of peace, that state of balance is good. It's good to push your comfort zone too, but it's also a blessing to have what we call homeostasis, to be in what brings you balance, and sometimes even you could actually push your comfort zone from that state of balance, right? When you're breaking your comfort zone too much, that's very draining. That's very unbalanced. And then what begins to happen is it's difficult to go through that. And typically what starts to happen is when you're going through these challenges, the universe is literally preparing you for a completely new level in your life, a completely new space that you've never been in before, a place of more abundance that you were not able to access had you not went through this challenge. And so I want you to understand that whatever it is that you're going through is usually something, in my experience, that leads us to a higher, new level of spirituality, of connectedness, of abundance, of things and opportunities. Any level up that I've ever had in my life was almost always followed by some sort of intense challenge and tribulation. Some sort of ridiculous thing that I did not expect was going to happen. Every time. It's or like I would say, like, 80 to 90% of the time, that's exactly what it is. 80 to 90%, like again, I don't want to put any numbers on this, to be honest, actually, now that I'm realizing that I'm saying that out loud. But I do just want to say though that I've noticed in my life a majority of the time when I shifted to some higher level in my life, usually something was totally out of whack shortly before then. Something happened in my relationships, something happened in my body, in my health, or something happened with my emotions. It's just some intense challenge. There's no other way to say it. There's no other way to communicate this other than just ridiculous and intense challenges. And I want you to always remember that this is just the universe preparing you for the next level of your life. Now, the second sign from the universe that you are about to get to a higher level, that you are about to level up in your life, is life feels like it's on pause. Maybe you've been able to get the breakthroughs before. Maybe you've got to an intense, new, higher level that you've never been able to get to. You've gotten to those breakthroughs, but when it comes to that next level that you're trying to get to, for whatever reason, you just can't. You're on pause. You're in what some people call limbo. You're in limbo. There's no better way to say it. You're just in limbo. You're just stuck. You can't progress. Typically what I notice in my life is that when I'm in limbo, that's a sign that I'm about to progress to a higher level. It might not happen right away, but it will, if you trust that it is. Because part of the problem is that when we resist the fact that our life is on pause, this is what sometimes keeps us stuck. Sometimes what the universe really wants from us is to just acknowledge all the breakthroughs you've already had. To just be content with the level that you've gotten to in your life. You know, but life is a journey. Life is a continual journey of breakthroughs and getting to the next level. And although your ego might really, really want to get that breakthrough and get to the higher level, and maybe even compare yourself a little bit to some people, the thing is, maybe it's just not time for that breakthrough, and the universe will put your life on pause. Remind you that you can acknowledge what you've accomplished so far. You can acknowledge the stuff that you've been able to create in your life up until this point. Acknowledge that you have gotten to this level. Acknowledge that you have gotten to this level of peace. Maybe there's more peace for you to get to. Sure, there always is that next level breakthrough in any area of your life, in your spirituality, in your business, whatever. Yeah, there's always a new level. But if life is on pause, is it possible that the universe is just asking you to acknowledge where you are right now? To just accept that you are where you are and to just be where you are, because we always need to remember that true change does come from acceptance. And if we resist those phases of life where it feels like things are on pause, what you resist persists, and then you stay in that place. When I just accept sometimes that I am where I am, that's when the abundance comes. Now, I'm not saying to not do the things that you need to do in order for the breakthrough to happen, because action is still something that is very, very important on this path of life. But what I want to say though is that even while you're taking action, can you do those actions from a space of acceptance? Because if you're taking action from a space of resisting that you're in limbo, that is what's going to keep you stuck. This is where affirmations go wrong too. If you're doing affirmations in order to not be poor, or not be lacking, that is where the affirmations go wrong. But if you're in acceptance, if you're in peace, if you acknowledge that this is what it is right now, and from that space you still go forward with the very tangible and physical things that you need to do, then now you're going to be in a much better space to feel more peace in your body and get to that next level breakthrough. But that is a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But what I'm going to say though right now is, if your life is on pause, nothing to worry about. In fact, if you take it as a sign and you take it as just something that's a sign you're about to level up, you're going to start to use this meaning to accept that your life is on pause. Go, Francis said it's a sign. And now you're going to actually level up. You're going to level up. You are. And whether you take that meaning or not, sure, maybe it's just me creating the meanings. Sure. Even if that's the case, it works, right? It works. And even if that's not just the meaning, of that's just the way the universe works too, which I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. What I'm noticing is that it's always been the case, because life is always a cycle of death and rebirth. It's just a moving, continuous cycle. Things are always flowing, things are always being torn apart, and then the new is going to replace the old. And sometimes though, you being on pause is just part of that process. It seems contradictory, it seems a little bit confusing, and it's like, well, how do those things come together, Francis? That's kind of confusing me. I get you. Embrace the pause. Use it as an opportunity to find more about who you really are, about why you're not able to accept this limbo. Maybe the point of the limbo is to teach you to just be in acceptance. And the moment you can do that, then the breakthrough starts to come. Now, the third sign from the universe that you are about to level up in your life is you're beginning to trust in your intuition and in your energy more. Whether you fall in the spectrum, on the spectrum of trusting your intuition, whether which I just created right now in this moment, like I created it earlier today, and another video that I recorded. Actually, it was the same video, but I'm re-recording it because something happened with the equipment and I had to re-record it a second time. But the spectrum is basically whether you kind of half trust your intuition and you're learning to trust in your energy more, and you're learning to trust in your intuition more, or whether you're fully at the point where you're saying, okay, you know what? These stories, BS. I'm done. You're done listening to the stories. Now, whether you're right in the middle where you're like, half and half, right? Or of course, the very left side is, nope, no intuition in this reality, because there's only the logical, tangible steps. Nothing wrong with that, but that is the spectrum, right? And so whether you're in the middle or you're on the right side where I guess this is your left because the camera's flipped, whatever. On this spectrum, if you're learning to trust in your intuition more, that is a huge, I don't even know how to communicate this, how big of a sign it is that you're about to have a breakthrough. Because every single time in my life that I've ever had a breakthrough of any kind, whether it was in my spirituality, whether it was in my finances, whether it was in my business, or my relationships, or whatever the case is, even health, trusting in my intuition has always been the case. That when I learned to trust in that space of trusting in my energy body, sometimes more than my mind, these days, I trust my energy body way more than my mind. Now, the mind has a place, but the mind can also be a huge dysfunction. So dysfunctional that you could laugh at it when you see the dysfunction of it. But it's not so funny when you're living in that space of dysfunction, but it can become humorous when you see the ridiculousness of our own fears and our own thoughts sometimes. It's pretty damn funny. When you can really see how ridiculous the mind can be sometimes in terms of the fears that it has. Not that they're not valid, and I'm not judging people for having fears, and I'm not judging myself for having those fears either, because I have them too. But when you can see it from a neutral place of observing, the humor can come in pretty strong. But that's a whole nother video in of itself. But the point is though, if you're learning to trust in your intuition, I'm here to tell you right now that you're literally about to have a breakthrough. Seriously, any breakthrough I've had was when I learned to trust in something that is bigger than what I call myself. The intuition that is within quote unquote me, that is connected with the universal divine intelligence. That intuition, those intuitive nudges that you get from the universe are connected to something divine, are connected to something greater than your own thoughts, greater than your own body and your mind and your own little tiny self with a lowercase s. You are something that can create the reality you desire. But it's important to trust in the intuitive nudges that you get. This has been the biggest asset that I've ever had. My asset in life is how connected I am to my intuition. That's the greatest form of wealth, really, that you have in this life, is your trust, your faith in your true self, and your faith in the divine intelligence that is always coursing through your body and the entire universe all at once. And the more that you can learn to trust in that energy that's very subtle but also really clear when you can see it and feel it permeating through your being, that is when you're going to start to have the breakthroughs in your life. Calling it right now. Calling it right now. I'll put money on the fact that when you learn to trust in your energy fully, you're going to have mind-bending breakthroughs in your life. I was going to say synchronicities too. Synchronicities, yeah. But also breakthroughs that are unimaginable. Literally unimaginable breakthroughs are going to happen in your life when you can learn to trust in your energy. Because your energy is a knowing that's non-logical. You can't possibly logically even contemplate where that intuition is going to take you. But if you trust in that energy that's in your body and your heart pulling you towards what it is that your soul knows deep inside you're meant to go towards, watch how your life begins to feel more dreamy and magical and bring you towards what it is that you truly desire in your life. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months once again. So if you want to be a part of the program and if you want more details on the program, enrollment is closing soon, so check it out. If you do want to be part of it, the link will be in the description box of this video for that as well. So as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.